Today for math, we are doing Worktext page 3738, and then tonight for homework we're doing math 3536. You will need a blue and a green colored pencil, okay? Because we're going to be doing renaming, okay? Renaming. So we're going to start, if you look on the board, you'll see that I have put the first problem. Well, let's look at the blue box first. I don't have that on board, but let's look at the blue box. Everyone looking at the blue box. Some of you are not. All right, so the first problem they give you in the blue box is 26 plus 38. Beside the 26, do you guys see how they give you 2 10 sticks and 6 ones, which is what 26 is made of? And then they have 38, and beside that, well, actually it's a little bit below that, but underneath the 26, they have 3 10 sticks and 8 ones. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
You can't see it if you're not looking at your paper. All right, so what they are showing you is about renaming. All right, so when you add up all those ones, you can see that it makes more than 10, doesn't it?
Yes,
All right, but what we're going to rename is just 10. So do you see how they circled 10 of those ones?
Yes.
Please sit up. This is not daydreaming time. Wake up, sit up. They circled 10 of those ones and they turned it into a 10 ones equals 110. That's what we just learned in the last unit. 10 ones equals 110. So they circled 10 of those ones and they turned it into 110. Please put your pencil down because you should not be working right now. You should be listening. I'm talking about the blue section at the top, and you're not doing anything. You're just looking. All right. Now, notice how many ones they didn't circle. How many ones did they not circle? 4. Well, what is 6 plus 8?
14.
14. So do you see why they have a 4 in the ones column? Because when they circled 10 of the ones and turned it into 110, they still had 4 ones left over. So that's why they put a 4 in the ones column. All right, now, do you see that they actually made a 10 stick?
Yes.
Now, we're not going to do our 10 sticks that way, so you need to pay attention when I do them on the board to see how we're going to do our 10 sticks. We're not going to make little rectangles. I will show you what I want you to do. All right, so the 10 ones turned into 110, so they made an extra 10 stick. Now, if you look at all the 10 sticks, now they have 3 because they have the 1 that they made plus 2 plus 3. So the 1 that they made plus the 2 plus the 3 equals how many? 1 that they made from the 10 ones equaling 1 10 stick. Then they had 2 10 sticks for the 20 and 3 10 sticks for the 30. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. Thank you. Wow, I get asked that so many times. Are you guys awake out there? Yeah, 6. So our answer is 64. And you can see that between the 2 that were already there and the 1 that you made and the 3 for the 30, that is 6 tens, right? 64. All right, now let's go to renaming tens to 100. So look at the other side of the blue box. This time we're adding up 353 and 471. And if you look at the top, they show you 3 100 cards. The green ones are hundreds, right? So they show you 3 of those. That's 300. And then they show you 5 10 sticks beside it. There's your 50. And they show you 3 ones, right? So that's 353. And then for 451, now they show us 4 hundreds and 7. It's 471. I'm sorry. So they show you 7 tens. Notice how they grouped them in groups of 5 though. So they have 5 together and then they have the 2 by themselves. Do you guys see that? And then they have 471, so they have 1 little 1 all by itself. That shows you 471. So now you can visualize, if you're looking at your paper, you can see how they're visualizing 353 plus 471, right? Mm-hmm. If you add up the ones, 3 and 1 is
4.
Okay, everybody needs to wake up out there. I want you to respond when I say 3 and 1 or 3 plus 1 is
4.
Right. Did you guys see that they put 4? Did we rename anything? No, because we didn't have enough to make a group of 10, did we? But when you go to the 10 sticks, do you have enough 10s to turn into a 100?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Notice again how they circled 10 of those 10 sticks. How many 10 sticks were left?
2.
Look at your paper and you will see, Michael. Okay, 2. All right, and 5 plus 7 is
12.
12. So that's where you get the 2 from, because when you circled 10 of the 10 sticks to turn into a 100, you still had 2 10 sticks left over. So in your tens column is a 2. And then you're going to take, after you circle the 10 sticks, you're going to turn it into a green square to show that you made 100 out of those 10 sticks. Think about it. When you count 10 sticks, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 10 tens is 100, right? So you turned it into 100. Now, you had 300s and 400s, but you made another 100, so 3 and 4 and 1 is 8. And that is what they put, 824. All right, you guys ready? Now it's your turn. You need to pay attention and listen carefully. We're going to start with problem number 1, which is 17 plus 23. All right, so when we look at our ones, all right, we're going to use the blue. I'm sorry, not red, blue. All right, when we use this blue because my one's run out of ink. When we look here, we have 17. You guys see this? Here's my 10 and here's my 7 ones. That's 17, right? And here's 23. Here's 2 10s and 3 1s. 23. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Now, if we look here, we have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means if we circle all of these in one circle, that makes, draw arrow over here and just draw a blue line to represent. It should be as long as theirs. All right? Okay, it's your turn now. Pick up your blue. Come on. Circle the 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Circle the 10 ones. Draw an arrow and make it into one 10 stick. But you're not going to do it as a rectangle. You're just going to literally make a stick that's the same size as their stick. Okay? Now let's add it up for real. 7 plus 3 is 10. Did we have any ones left over?
No.
No, we had to circle all of them, didn't we? So we didn't have any ones left over, so we're going to put 0 here. We had none left over, but we did rename 10 of them as a 10. 10 ones equals 1 10. So put another 1 over here and on top of that 10 column. Now we have the 1 that we made, plus the 1 for the 17, plus the 2 for the 23. 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 4. And you guys can see that we have 40. Okay, if we were to count everything, we have 10, 20, 30, 40. Do we need to count these? No, because we turned them into a 10 stick. Alright, so we don't need to still count these. We circled them and turned them into a 10 stick. So all of these have been turned into a 10 stick. So all we have to do is say 10, 20, 30, 40. And that's our answer. Right? Alright, now you're going to go down. Go down. Okay? So we're going to do 158 plus 226. Eyes up here just for a second. You can look on your paper too, but I want you to see that this is 100, right? And then it's 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then notice how I made 5 and then 3 to make 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got it? Alright, then we have 226. So I have 200. And actually, I just realized they put them this way, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move this over a little bit, this over a little bit, and we'll just take the time to move all these over a little bit. Thought I had done them the exact same way you did on the paper, and I realized I did that wrong. Okay, so now we have 200, here's our 200, and 20, and 6. 226, 5, and one more is 6. Got it? Alright, now, what are we going to circle? Hunter.
They're going to circle
need to circle down here?
4. 2.
2. 8 plus 2 is 10, right? 8, 9, 10. Right? If we have 8 up here, we're only going to go down and circle 2 more. Now, does it matter which 2 you circle?
No.
No. I circled the 2 at the top. You could have circled these 2 and left that one out. It doesn't matter as long as you don't go down here and circle these up here and then come down here and circle 2. It needs to be one big circle circling all of them. Do you guys understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
So you could circle the 2 side by side like I did, or you could have circled these 2 and not that one. It really doesn't matter as long as you're circling 2 of the ones near the top. Now, how many did we circle?
10.
10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And how many did we not circle?
4.
And what is 8 plus 6?
14.
14. So there's where our 4 comes from. And then we also need to draw an arrow. We're going to draw an arrow right here because it's an easy place to put our 10 stick and put our extra 10 stick right here. So we turn those 10 ones into one 10 stick. All right, now we also need to come over here and put, I meant to draw that in black. Let's make it in black. So you guys should be drawing these in black. Or regular pencil rather. And carry the 1. So 4 left over, 4 ones left over, and then carry that 1. Rename it to the top of the 10s. Okay, that's the one we just drew. And we circled the 10 sticks, we turned it into, or circled the 1s, excuse me. When we circled the 1s, we turned it into one more 10 stick. All right, now we had 5 10 sticks and 2 10 sticks, and we just put the 1 more 10 stick we just made. So 1 plus 5 plus 2 is
8.
And if we were to count them all, we would see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the one we made makes 8, right? All right, now the easy thing is the 100 that we have here plus the 200, 100, 200, 300. 1 plus 2 is 3. All right, and if we were to do it all, we would find 384 because we don't count those because we turned them into a 10 stick. Okay, that's called renaming. All right, I'm going to move the camera over here, and we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to rename to the hundreds. All right. Can you see? All right. So this time we are doing 253 plus 362. Notice I have here 200, 5 tens, 3 ones. That is my 253. And then I have 300, 6 tens, 2 ones. That's my 362. This is on number 3. Is everybody at number 3 now? Where it says 253 plus 362. Now, do we have enough ones to circle anything?
No.
So we just add them up. 3 plus 2 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would know that without counting them, but you can check it. This is visualizing it. You are visualizing what is 3 plus 2 equal 5, because you can see 3 and you can see 2 and you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Visualizing it. Now, let's get to our 10 sticks now. For our 10 sticks, we had 5 here, we had 6 here, but remember I put them in groups of 5, so 5 and 5 is 10. This time we're going to use a green. I want you to circle those 10 sticks, and then you're going to draw an arrow down here, and you're going to draw just an empty square. Do not try to put lines in it. Try to make it the same size as their squares. Okay, like that. Do you understand? With your green, you're supposed to be using your green. That is what I said, because we are circling those 10 sticks, and then we are going to draw an arrow over here, right? And make a green square, just like this. Circle it with your green, draw the arrow with your green, make the square with your green, because you're turning 10 sticks into 100. Because 10 tens is the same thing as 100. Does everybody understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so 5 plus 5 is 10, plus you had this one because you had 5 plus 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. And how many did we have left over that we didn't circle?
1.
So we had 1 10 stick left over, which is what we're gonna put here, but then we changed 10 of them into a 100. So you're gonna come up here and put a 1 on top of the hundreds column. That represents the ones that you changed into 100. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because we took those 10 sticks and turned them into 100. So we get to take it and put it on top of the 100. We made 100 out of 10 of those 10 sticks. So that's why we put a 1 up here. Okay? Now, we already said that 5 plus 6 was 11, and we put the 1 that was left over, the 1 10 sticks that was left over, we put the 1 that we changed into 100. Now we can add that up. We had 2, we had 3, and we had the 1 we just made. So 2 plus 3 plus 1 is 6. And that answer is
615.
Alright, so we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600, 110, and 5 ones, and that is 615. Alright, now I gotta take your right again. Now I didn't have room to put the next problem, number 4. I didn't have room to put it over there, so I had to put it over here. Alright, so everybody, this problem is 154 plus 374. Alright, let's visualize it. Here is 154, and here is 374. Do we have enough ones to change? No. So we're just going to say 4 plus 4 equals 8. And just go ahead and put an 8. Alright, now 5 plus 7, how many can we circle? 10. So this is 5 and this is 5. We already know that is 10. So circle those 10 and draw an arrow and go ahead and make one more 100 square. Just like that. That's all I want you to do. I want you to color it. I want you to draw little lines in it to make it look like 100 different tiny little pieces. That would be a waste of time. This is going to represent another 100. But it needs to be similar in size to what they already have. Not bigger, not way smaller, similar in size. Try to make yours the same size as theirs. Alright, so when we added up the 5 plus 7, we got
12.
Well, guess what? How many 10 sticks do we have left over if we circle 2? 2. So there's our 2 10 sticks that were left over, and we turned around and turned the 10 we circled into a
100.
So let's put a 100, a 1 in the hundreds column to represent that 100 that we made. Alright, so there's our 12. Now we have the 100 plus the 300 plus the 100 we just made. 1 plus 1 plus 3 is 5. 528. Alright. Now, at the bottom, we're not going to draw pictures of it. We're just going to do it in our head. We're going to do it together, but we're going to do it in our head. So everybody look at the first problem. It says 27 plus 45. So what is 7 plus 5?
12.
So you're going to put a 2 underneath, and then you're going to rename the 1.
10.
We're going to rename 1 to the top of the 10. That's how we're going to say it. Because if you say rename 10, then somebody's going to actually put 10 up there. So we're going to rename 110 to the top. Okay? So put a 1 at the top of the 10s. Alright? So put a 1 at the top of the 10s and then add up 1 plus 2 plus 4 and you get 7. So your answer is 72. Is everyone with me? I'm going to try to go slow enough that you can keep up with me. But you've got to be paying attention and you can't be putting your pencil down. Alright, go on to the next one. 481 plus 373. Start with 1 plus 3. 4. Nothing to rename. 1 plus 3 is simply 4, not 10 or more. Alright, then you have 8 plus 7. 15. Don't say 5 because the answer is not 5, but you are going to put a 5 at the bottom. So put a 5 underneath the 8 plus 7 and rename the 1 to the top of the
100.
hundreds this time. You're to the top of the hundreds. This is a mixture of the two. Sometimes we'll be renaming to the tens, sometimes we'll be renaming to the hundreds. Alright? So when you rename that one to the top of the hundreds, now you have 1 plus 4 plus 3.
8.
8. Very good. So put an 8 and your answer is 854. Alright, we're on number 3 now. Number 3 is 137 plus 46. So start with 7 plus 6. What is 7 plus 6?
13.
13. Alright, so you're going to put a 3 at the bottom of the ones and rename the 1 to the top of the tens. Now your tens column is 1 plus 3 plus 4.
8.
8. Nothing to rename. Just put an 8. And your hundreds column, 1 plus nothing?
1.
1. So your final answer is?
180.
183. We need to say it correctly, please. 183. What, Brant? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready to go on? Alright. Next one is number 8, 83 plus 64. So let's start with a 3 plus 4 in the ones column. 7. So just put a 7. Nothing to rename. And then we're going to say 8 plus 6. 14. Do you have a hundreds column to rename? No. Then just go ahead and put your 14. There's no hundreds column to rename it to, so just put 14. So your final answer is? 147. You only need to rename if there's a column to rename it to. Since they don't have hundreds anyway, just go ahead and put that 14. Does everyone understand that?
Yes,
All right, go on to the last one. 528 plus 249. Let's start with the 8 plus 9. 17. So in the ones column, you're going to put the 7 underneath. And then you rename the 110 to the top of the
Tens.
And now you have, in the tens column, 1 plus 2 plus 4.
7.
7. Again, just put a 7. No renaming necessary. Add up your hundreds. 5 plus 2.
7.
Answer?
777.
All right. Turn your paper over if you're finished with that, and we will do the same thing on the back. All right, we're going to start with 43 plus 18, starting with 3 plus 8. 11. So put a 1 at the bottom underneath the ones column and rename the other one to the top of the tens column. Now we have 1 plus 4 plus 1.
6.
1 plus 4 is 5, plus 1 will be 6. And the answer is? 61. Go across to number 2, and you have 69 plus 24. So let's start with 9 plus 4. 13. So put a 3 at the bottom underneath the ones and rename the tens to the top of the tens. Rename the 1, to the top of the tens. Rename that 1 to the top of the tens. Add it up. 1 plus 6 plus 2.
9.
9. Very good. So our answer is 93. Go to the next row. Number 3, 516 plus 176. Start with 6 plus 6.
12.
12. So at the bottom, underneath the ones, you're going to put the 2. 12. The 1 goes at the top of the
Tens column.
Because that's how you make a 12. It's by putting a 2 in the ones column and a 1 in the tens column, right? So you add up that tens column. 1 plus 1 plus 7.
9.
Nothing to rename. Just put a 9. And add up the hundreds column. 5 plus 1.
6.
The answer is
692.
All right, next is 309 plus 235. So let's start with the ones column. 9 plus 5. 14. So underneath the ones column, put a 4. Then rename the 1 to the top of the tens. Add it up. 1 plus 0 plus 3.
4.
So put a 4 underneath the tens column. Nothing to rename. And then add up your hundreds column. 3 plus 2.
5.
Answer?
544.
Next, 136 plus 193. What is 6 plus 3?
9.
So just put a 9. Nothing to rename. Go to the tens column. What's 3 plus 9?
12.
So underneath the tens column, put a
2.
and rename the 1 to the top of the
Hundreds.
1 plus 1 plus 1.
3.
Answer?
329.
Let's go to number 6. 347 plus 560. Start with 7 plus 0.
7.
Just put a 7. Nothing to rename. Go to the tens column. 4 plus 6.
10.
So what are you going to put underneath?
0.
In the tens column, underneath, put a 0 and rename the 1 to the top of the
100.
It's just called the hundreds, okay? The hundreds column. 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9. 907. 907 is your answer. Next is number 7. 418 plus 375. Start with 8 plus 5.
15.
I haven't had a right answer yet. 8 plus 5. 13. Thank you, Chase. Ooh, guys, come on. 13. Put a 3 at the bottom of the ones and rename the 1 to the top of the tens. Now we have 1 plus 1 plus 7.
9.
So put a 9 underneath the tens. And then we have 4 plus 3.
7.
Answer 793. Moving on to number 8. Number 8 is 317 plus 529. Start with 7 plus 9.
16.
So at the bottom of the ones, you're going to put that
6.
and rename the 1 to the top of the
Ten.
So now it looks like 1 plus 1 plus 2.
4.
So just put a 4 underneath the tens and add up the hundreds. 3 plus 5?
8.
Our answer is?
846.
All right. Now number 9, 578 plus 281. I haven't even asked yet. 8 plus 1 is?
9.
So just put a 9. Nothing to rename. Go to the tens though. 7 plus 8 is?
15.
So put a 5 underneath the tens and rename the 1 to the top of the
Hundreds.
So your hundreds now would be 1 plus 5 plus 2. 8. And so that would be 859. All right, you're going to actually have to draw what you need for this next section. So I'm going to do this with you. We're going to read that story problem together. All right, and we'll grab these off of here real quick. Whoever's making that noise needs to stop. I'm going to draw them smallish so that it works. So let's start with the story problem. The story problem says, after a big storm, Haley and Andy made meals for people in a storm shelter. Haley made 262 meals. Andy made 151 meals. How many people did Haley and Andy help by making meals? All right, so I'm going to show you what is in the big box. I'm not going to show you the ones going across because you guys should know how to do that from last time we did it. Alright, so you guys have this big box. Alright, so in the big box, you're going to start by writing the numbers to add up. They already have this, and they already have that, right? So what are the numbers going to write? What's the first number?
262.
So you need to write 262. And what are we going to do? Add, because we're finding out Haley's meals and Andy's meals. What's the other number? What was the other number?
151.
So we're going to write 151. Now, we're going to have to draw a picture of it. Alright? So, the first number is 262. So, beside the 200, I want you to draw 2 squares. Don't make them be too big. That would be 200. You need to do them with your green, just like I did. They are hundreds. Hundreds are going to be green. Alright, now you're going to pick up your blue, and you're going to do 6 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then leave a tiny bit of space and do one more. So you have clusters of 5. Remember how we're making clusters of 5. So there's our 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They should be about the same height. Mine are a little bit shorter, but they should be about the same height. You make them too short. They should be about the same height as those. And then, you haven't had to make ones yet, so pay attention. I don't need you to make little tiny squares. If you have to make lots of these, it will make your hand tired, so pay attention. You're gonna pick up your red. I forgot to tell you you need your red. I forgot you need it. And you're just gonna make 2 dots like that. There's 262. And these are just gonna be dots. They need to be big enough that I can see them, but I don't need you making little tiny squares. That would make your hands so tired to have to make lots and lots of little tiny squares. Alright, the other number is 151, so we're going to start with 100. So again, just draw one green square. Try to make all your squares the same size. Now you're going to switch to blue, and we need to come over here and make what? 5 what? 10 sticks. They should line up with the ones above it. So go right below it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And make 5 10 sticks there. And then how many ones do we need? Just one. So right beside it, just put 1. So there's our 262, and here is our 151. Alright, now when we add it up, do we need to circle any of our ones?
No.
So 2 plus 1 is
3.
3. So just come over here and write 3. Now, when we get to our 10 sticks, do we have enough to circle?
Yes.
So we need, here's 5, so let's just go ahead and circle those. And then we can draw an arrow right here, just a little arrow, and go ahead and make our extra 100 right there in that empty space. Don't you have an empty space? If you did 2 and then 1, you should have an empty space right there. That's what I told you. I just made this one from using this and drawing an arrow to put that right there. Now, 6 plus 5 is 11. So here's our 1 that was left over. There's where our 10s come from, right? So we had 1 10 left over after we circled 10 of them. And then we made another 100, so put a 1 in your hundreds column. Now we have the 1 we just made, plus the 2, plus the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. 413. Alright, now you're also going to write this problem going across. So you would write 262 plus 151 equals, what we just figured out the answer was, 413. And then right underneath that, you need to write a label because it says Haley and Andy helped.
Make sandwiches.
I know. No.
Make meal.
You need to put your answer and label. What is your answer?
400.
413, and what's the label? How many? No,
Meals.
no, it's not. Read the question, guys. What's the question? How many people? So what's your label gonna be? People. If you guys don't learn to read that question to find out your label, then you're gonna be getting it wrong, because what if you'd written meals? It would say Haley and Andy helped 413 meals by making meals. Does that make sense?
No.
Not really. The label said, the question said how many people, so the label should be people, 413 people. Alright. People can bring glory to God by helping others because God made people in His own image. I will write the word image so that you know how to spell it. I-M-A-G-E, image. Alright, so that is it, and you will do something similar. You will need colored pencils tonight, because anytime you're making ones, if you do, you need red. If you're doing 10 sticks and 100, you need to circle it in green and turn it into green. The other ones, like we did the other time when we were turning them into 10 sticks, you would circle the ones in blue and turn them into a blue 10 stick. Now, you guys have to sort of remember that, because guess what? What is your paper tonight like?
Reading.
What?
The text.
No. remember that the one you're doing is black and white. It's black and white, so you're just going to have to remember that these were green and these are blue and these are red. I still expect them to be green, blue, and red, but you need to remember that. You guys understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so visualize it in your mind. What was green, what was blue, and what was red? I don't think you'll need your red tonight. You'll just need your green and blue. Because you're just gonna be circling ones and turning them into 10 sticks, and you're just gonna be circling 10 sticks and turning them into ones, like we did at the top of the paper. Turn them into hundreds. Did I say the wrong thing? Sorry. You're gonna be circling ones and turning them into 10 sticks, and then you're gonna be circling 10 sticks and turning them into hundreds.